Hodgkinson here, the author of The Idle Parent. You've also written 2 other books on idleness, and you're the editor of a magazine called The Idler. Tell us a bit about that before we go into your book.
Well, The Idler I started in '93 when I was 25 and had been in the workplace for, I suppose, 2 or 3 years, and was finding it hugely disappointing as a place where you could get the things that a job was supposed to do. I mean, I didn't seem to have much money, I wasn't enjoying myself. I had that terrible dread on Sunday evening, and I didn't enjoy being in the office. I was working as a researcher on a small magazine, and some days I'd take off and stay at home, and that was when I was going to do my own work, do my own freelance work, my own journalism, rather than working for somebody else. But on these mornings, you know, I'd be lying in bed until 9, 10, 11, and then I'd finally get up in this kind of fit of self-loathing. And then I'd have a bath, and I'd be in the bath until 12. And I was filled with this kind of self-hatred, you know, you must work harder, come on, get out of bed, come on, be productive.
You weren't disciplined enough, or what was...
Yeah, I always felt I was lazy and I ought to be working harder. But in the middle of all this, I read a series of essays by Dr. Johnson, who was the great 18th century man of letters. He wrote the first English dictionary. And he did like a sort of weekly column in a magazine called The Idler. And in this, he talked about the way an idler works. In his case, he was also very lazy. I found out from his diaries. He would lie in bed till lunchtime, and he would work with great diligence and great speed right close to the deadline, and then go out to the taverns and the pubs and see his friends and drink. And I thought, well, that's really my way of working, a sort of bout of diligence, a kind of speedy, sort of intense piece of work up to the deadline. But then the point was that when you're lying in bed staring at the ceiling, you're not actually doing nothing. Because something's going on in your mind. So the idleness is very important to creativity. And then having found this Dr. Johnson thing, and I found it a fantastic comfort and inspiring to my own way of working, I thought The Idler was a wonderful name for a magazine. And it developed into a whole philosophy, because I then started reading other great writers about idleness. And you know, it turns out there's this fantastic long history from Aristotle, from the Chinese poets, the Taoists, up to the present day, in someone like John Lennon, who praises idleness a lot. You don't have to subscribe to the Protestant work ethic. There is a different way of doing things. There's a way of doing things which brings your work under your own control, and in a sense makes work into something that you enjoy, not something that's been imposed on you. So that's really the area of discussion that I've been concerned with for, I suppose, 15 years in books and magazines.